Now, I believe this is a video, and the next couple ones probably another video. This is the note that I put. I don't remember what all of them is about. I didn't listen to this yet. Okay, I almost love watching real Dennis Welch, who tells it like it is. Look at Soapus Dickey stuttering and stammering because once again he's been caught telling fibs. What is he saying now? Remember, this is one of the voivodas who did that YouTube interview where they were talking about the Oprah interview that they didn't even see.
We're going to be doing a post-match analysis of Harry and Meghan's interview with Oprah, which is obviously coming out in a few days' time.
My name is Victoria Arbiter, A-R, B as in boy, I-T-E-R, and I am royal commentator for CNN.
Richard Fitzwilliams, royal commentator.
Ingrid Seward, I'm editor-in-chief of Majesty magazine.
You've not seen the interview yet, have you?
No.
No, great. I think we have a fair idea of where the interview's going, and we have a fair idea.
You do, definitely.
Alright, so it's 2 minutes and 56 seconds. Almost 3 minutes. Let's listen.
Harry is going to be flying over. Do you think there's any hope of him meeting up with the king and reconciling anything?
That's a very difficult one. I'm sure.
But they're saying that as if Harry should go out of his way to see someone who don't even want to see him. When was that? When he flew to the UK after the announcement of the king cancer. 45 minutes to fly from the US to the UK, and then the guy didn't even stay and spend some time with his son. Instead, he took his helicopter and go. So why will Harry chase someone who doesn't want to see him? Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's hear what this guy is saying. I move it back slightly.
Any hope of him meeting up with the king and reconciling anything?
That's a very difficult one. I'm sure your audience here, many of them are parents. I'm a parent, and we would like to make up. But
sounds very good. Oh, there's a but here. So far, I agree with him. This is generalization of things, yes. But let's see what his but is. So his but.
What is going on between our children and us is not being played out in the public arena. And with the king and the rest of the royal family, it is. Harry has been rubbishing the family since they walked out in 2020. We had in 21, we had Oprah. We had...
Let's not forget, and this is why Harry had to go to court to have the court review what Dumb and Dumber was doing and why they push him out. It was William who hired Simon Case and have Simon Case write some sort of document to make sure that Harry was out. This is why Harry had to go to court and let the people know why he was pushed out.
Began to address Granny about the 5 options. Your Majesty, you've seen the 5 options? Yes, she said. We all had. They'd been emailed to us. 5 different ways of proceeding. Option 1 was continuance of the status quo. Meg and I don't leave. Everyone tries to go back to normal. Option 5 was full severance. No royal role, no working for Granny, and total loss of security. Option 3 was somewhere in between. A compromise, closest to what we'd originally proposed. I told everyone assembled that, above all, I was desperate to keep security. That was what worried me most, my family's physical safety. I wanted to prevent a repeat of history, another untimely death like the one that had rocked this family to its core 23 years earlier, and from which we were still trying to recover. I'd consulted with several palace veterans, people who knew the inner workings of the monarchy and its history, and they all said option 3 was best for all parties. Meg and I living elsewhere part of the year, continuing our work, retaining security, returning to Britain for charities, ceremonies, events. Sensible solution, these palace veterans said, and eminently doable. But the family, of course, pushed me to take option 1. Barring that, they would only accept option 5. We discussed the 5 options for nearly an hour. At last, the bee got up and went round the table, handing out a draft of a statement the palace would soon be releasing, announcing implementation of option 5. Wait, I'm confused. You've already drafted a statement? Before any discussion? Announcing option 5? In other words, the fix was in this whole time? This summit was just for show? No answer.
because they're making it seem like it's Harry who walked out. But when you look deeper, Harry was trying to protect the institution.
So in conclusion, if you'd had the support, you'd still be there.
Without question.
Yeah.
I'm sad that what's happened has happened, but I know and I'm comfortable knowing that we did everything that we could to make it work, and we did everything on the exit process the way that it should have been
with
done.
as much respect.
With as much
and,
respect.
Oh my God, we just did everything we could to protect them.
So what do you say to the people who say...
Anyway, because as he was leaving, he didn't say anything.
The decision that I have made for my wife and I to step back is not one I made lightly. It was so many months of talks after so many years of challenges. And I know I haven't always gotten it right, but as far as this goes, there really was no other option. What I want to make clear is we're not walking away. And we certainly aren't walking away from you. Our hope was to continue serving the Queen, the Commonwealth and my military associations, but without public funding. Unfortunately, that wasn't possible.
Barring that, they would only accept option 5. We discussed the 5 options for nearly an hour. At last, the bee got up and went round the table, handing out a draft of a statement the palace would soon be releasing, announcing implementation of option 5. Wait, I'm confused. You've already drafted a statement? Before any discussion? Announcing option 5? In other words, the fix was in this whole time? This summit was just for show? No answer.
I've accepted this, knowing that it doesn't change who I am or how committed I am. But I hope that helps you understand what it had come to, that I would step my family back.
Wait, I'm confused. You've already drafted a statement? Before any discussion? Announcing option 5? In other words, the fix was in this whole time? This summit was just for show?
From all I have ever known.
No answer.
To take a step forward into what I hope can be a more peaceful life.
But they continue going after him where he needed to let people know the truth.
They had to believe that it was more about us and maybe the issues that we had, as opposed to their partner, the media, and themselves in that relationship that was causing so much pain for us. They saw what they wanted to see. The saddest part of it was this wedge created between myself and my brother so that he's now on the institution side. And I get, part of that I understand, right? That's his inheritance. So to some extent, it's already ingrained in him that part of his responsibility is the survivability and the continuation of this institution.
There's been an unbelievably sad breakdown between the brothers.
They always used to be in step, and they're clearly out of step now.
That day, a story that came out saying that part of the reason why Meghan and I were leaving was because William had bullied us out. And once I got in the car after the meeting, I was told about a joint statement that had been put out in my name and my brother's name, squashing the story about him bullying us out of the family.
A sign of public unity from the brothers, who issued a joint statement calling the report false, offensive, and potentially harmful.
I couldn't believe it. No one had asked me. No one had asked me permission to put my name to a statement like that. And I rang Em and I told her, and she burst into floods of tears, because within 4 hours they were happy to lie to protect my brother. And yet, for 3 years, they were never willing to tell the truth to protect us.
Suddenly, what clicked in my head was, it's never going to stop. Every rumor, every negative thing, every lie, everything that I knew wasn't true and that the palace knew wasn't true and internally they knew wasn't true, that was just being allowed to fester.
The review of his security was one of the main issues here, why he had to go to court and let people know what was going on. It was William who kicked him out. And when you look at in the judge's perspective, you have Dumb and Dumber, William and Charles, who is the key holder for the institution. Both of them are on the same page. So what's Harry a spare down the line after William's kid? He has to agree with them. Harry has no say. If Harry was the next heir to the throne, or maybe a little bit closer, let's say William didn't have any kids or something like that, maybe that would have gone slightly different. But William has kids, and they don't want Harry in the mix right now. But God forbid, if something, not that I wish on them, Charles could go because he lived his life already, but for the kids' sake. But let's say something, God forbid, something were to happen, then Harry will be a little bit more important. Right now, Harry is not that important for the firm because there's 3 heirs down the line before him. So the judge had to agree with Dumb and Dumber. But let's continue with this guy's BS. I move it back slightly.
Rubbishing the family since they walked out in 2020. We had in 21, we had Oprah. We had at the end of 22, 6 hours of Netflix. And then we had the beginning of 23.
6 hours of Netflix telling their side of the story. You guys went on and on for years and still going on with a bunch of lies. So they had to tell the truth. And now they move on. Okay, people needed to know the truth. Oh my God, this place is infested.
600 pages of
we did, Dickie, but if I may say as well, do you not think there is a reason why Harry did such a thing? You've got, in my opinion, and I know I don't know the royal family like you do, but...
Quite refreshing for you in the way that you've been brought up, with a lot of people knowing a lot about you. Was it refreshing?
Or thinking they know.
Or thinking they know.
And I know I don't know the royal family like you do, but, his dad married Diana when he was in love with Camilla. And so, ruined a lot of Diana's life because of his affair with Camilla. So this young boy, who then witnesses the death of his mother, who is forced to walk publicly in front of the world behind his dead mother's coffin, and accept this woman that he doesn't like as his stepmother. Then he has a wife who is completely and continually trashed by the media, including your good self, if I may say.
Good.
When in fact she was on a world stage.
Good.
For a lot of people before she met this guy. And I am just sick to death of the bashing that this woman gets. Everybody's happy to say the bashing that the other royal family members get. Hardly any of you mention Andrew. And he continually, every day, berate this woman. And I think when her children grow up and see what she goes through, I think Harry had a bloody good reason to write that book.
Good. Wow. Somebody, where is that? Is it in the UK?
Because that's not what I'm here for. You had...
But you're here to come to lie to the people? Is that why you come here? Oh, we need to hear the truth, but you went on something completely 360. Oh my goodness.
And I put my side.
You put your side, but if I may say, you ever been reading too many tabloid stories?
No, I haven't.
No.
Don't disrespect me.
We don't hear these things that she's saying on the tabloid. We hear your BS on the tabloid. What the hell is wrong with this guy? I'm sorry, I'm interrupting, but you guys go on YouTube and find it.
Because I have read a lot about Meghan before as well, and I think it's a disgrace the way she's treated.
Well, that is an opinion. It is also a disgrace in the way that they treated the rest of the royal family.
How?
The people here.
They had no comeback. They had no other comeback.
I wish she had asked him how have they disrespect the royal family. Harry and Meghan just tell their side of story. Look at this. Meghan don't even mention them, but yet you people still talking about her. Oh my goodness.
They did actually. They didn't have to walk out.
What?
Why would they not walk out? Why would they want to spend...
Even this part is a lie. In the Oprah interview, what is it? Oprah had asked, I have the clip, like, will they still be in the institution and stuff like that? And they said yes.
So in conclusion, if you'd had the support, you'd still be there?
Without question.
Yeah.
I'm sad that what's happened has happened, but I know and I'm comfortable knowing that we did everything that we could to make it work, and we did everything on the exit process the way that it should have been
with
done.
As much respect.
With as much respect.
Oh my God, we just did everything we could to protect them.
But they pushed him out. William, this is William. This is the traitor. I had one video, I don't know, I put traitor in it. I think traitor is part of the title. He literally brought in an expert to write off his brother out of the working royal. His brother. Oh my goodness. And Charles was in agreement with William. So it's not a Harry who walked out. They push him out. Then we forget the review. Oh my God.
To spend their life in a country that hated them. We don't want to come on here and have a debate, really. We want to know, how is Charles doing now? What is the future for Charles? Where is he moving on for? He's not...
But yet they're not asking about Kate they haven't seen. Oh my Lord.
It's not the, it's not a debate. Don't have a guest on and say, I can say what I like. I'm not saying you can't.
Good. Don't have a guest here. Just come and lie to the people. Alright, you can tell me that everyone in the UK hates Harry and Meghan. There were literally people cheering Dennis on. Thanks for sharing, Zandy. There's the loving eye here. Alright, yep. When I heard about this today, some people were saying she was out of order. Really? When I did see this clip earlier, I said good on her for saying it as it is. Also, I took what some people said about her with a pinch of salt. It looks like we have some undercover royalists among us. Remember, the derangers is in our conversation. When they see something, they're gonna say something to pretend as if they're part of the group. I mean, you don't know who's behind the computer. The Rangers think anyone who speaks the truth is out of order. I don't think the British, the Aussie media is the same in my opinion. Understand how cruel and heartless they sound when they talk about Meghan, so I'm so glad for this woman. Sky News Australia is out of control at the moment. So is this from Australia? Thank you for keeping us informed. You are becoming my go-to for talk show regarding our Harry and Meghan. Thank you again. Haha. Pleasure. I love how she said he had to watch for years his father disrespecting his mother, cheating with Camilla, whom he now married. No one ever mentioned this. That's right. Why would he want to be around that woman? People act like this is supposed to be acceptable and it's not. And the thing is, okay, on the facade, remember, the royal family is playing a role to the public. Harry was willing to play that role. Meghan was willing to play that role. Remember that picture they took? I believe Charles and Camilla were sitting on the bench and Charles was holding one or two of William's kids or something. Meghan and Harry were in the back. They were willing to play that facade kind of thing. But the consistency of bashing Meghan for no apparent reason was uncalled for. And then you have the brother who called in Simon Case to write his brother off. Oh my goodness. And remember, prior to the wedding, they were trying to prevent the wedding from happening.
That may have been one of the things that upset her. And of course the photographs were a setup. I was set up by a guy named Jeff Rayner and another guy named Dylan Howard, who was with American media, I think. And the whole thing was a plan to actually mess up the wedding.
But it didn't work. Like I've said in some other video, Harry and Meghan's foundation had already been established prior them meeting Meghan. Okay, prior Harry introducing Meghan to the family. That foundation was already there. This is what Harry was looking for. Alright? After this, that's it. And bottom up, it really doesn't take much for them to be put on the back foot, does it? They all know their point of view is indefensible. All she had to say was, quote, "It's a disgrace the way Meghan has been treated." No, she said what she said. I agree with the way she said it. Then next time when you meet these people, you say that. The way she said it, it was fine. She explained everything prior to marriage, when Princess Diana was alive and all of that. She said it exactly in a very time frame. Very, very shortly. It's a disgrace the way Meghan has been treated, and he has no comeback for that because he knows she's right. He knew she's right. He had no comeback from everything that she said. This is why he said, this is your opinion and all of that. Obviously, it's her opinion and it's the fact. Alright, so Dickie Arbiter is not a royal expert. Dickie Arbiter is a bloody liar. Let them talk about missing Kate Middleton all pedophile angel if they have the courage. Everybody is sick and tired of the people, was it Charles and William, are sending to attack Meghan anytime they are doing good, karma. Alright, I've always liked Dennis, very good actress. If Colleen, a one-hit wonder by the way, hadn't have interrupted, Dennis will have wiped the floor with him. Fact. Okay, I just love. Okay, so I read that already. Let's go to the next tweet.